box model. These are the concepts of box model. That means how to keep the margin, how to keep the padding, and how to keep the borders. These are the options. Generally, so margins, padding, border, already we used in several examples. Already we learned in several examples. But we will see how to handle them properly, means correct options we will see now. We will understand all those options correctly. We used in several examples, but we will learn detailedly, right? Actually, so margins, what are the options, what are the attributes? Generally, what is margin, padding, and border? So box model is nothing but technically box model contains options like this. Suppose this is the page, and in the page our content will be there. The space between the page and our content, the space between the page and our content, that is called margin. That is called margin. And after the margin, then comes, this is called border. We call this as border. And after that, our content can be present exactly on border. Our content can be exactly on the border. It can be exactly on the border, or we can have some space. If we have some space between the border our content, then we call this as padding. That space is called padding. Already we know this. So margins, borders, paddings, all these options, we generally know that. So usually we already worked with that. So technically, when you are applying the effects, so these are the options. So these are the options. So we have to configure the margins, border, and padding. For that, attributes, for margin, what attributes we have? For margin, we have attributes. Margin is, we call it as shorthand. Shorthand means it will apply all directions. All directions. You can write margin left, we can write margin right, margin top, we can put margin bottom. So that is margin. Similarly, padding. For padding, we have padding is the shorthand. If I write only padding, it will apply all directions. Or we can simply put padding left. So we can put padding right. So we say padding bottom. So we say padding top. These are very simple and easy to understand already. We know that. Generally, how we can configure the padding. Usually, so padding can be defined with all these options. So, and borders, I will show you this. Already we know that, but I will show you one simple example here. Suppose let's add a new file. So box model.html. Let's create a design. So doc type HTML head title and a box model, and in the body, so we have a div, and let's keep the class container. Inside that we will put some paragraph. So inside that we will put some paragraph inside the container. Okay, that is the paragraph. Now generally it will look like this. The appearance for that paragraph will be in this way. So we are configuring the container and the paragraph will be displayed. So we want here, so the space, that means we will put a style. In the style we will put dot container. We are accessing that. First border I will give simply 2 pixel. Okay. You see here the border, what kind of border? Suppose solid. Okay. I will show you border option. You see now currently this container is exactly at the page. We want some space above, space left, space right. Then we can write here, so margin. So margin all directions. You can say margin. If I put so 10 pixel, it will be all directions 10 pixel. So 20 pixel, it will be 30 pixel, all direction 30 pixel. So we can write individually also. That means we can write margin left, so 20 pixel. That means only left margin. So we can write margin right 20 pixel. So generally we can individually write, or we figure with one margin option. So that is the option. Suppose I define 20 pixel and 20 pixel space I am giving. So and I said suppose 30 pixel. So that means I am adjusting like this. You can see that. So this is left, this is right. And I say 25 pixel, 25 pixel. That means it will adjust little bit from top. Some 45 pixels, then it will adjust from the top. Usually you can adjust like this, or you can individually define. So or if you want same, you can give one effect. So that means some 40 pixel, all directions it will be 40 pixel. That is margins. You can put separate or you can apply. Padding also same. Padding means, so padding between the content and border. So I say 30 pixel. All directions padding will be 30 pixel. You can keep top padding, you can keep bottom padding, you can keep padding in different directions. So we can add padding also in different directions. Configure the padding in different directions. So these points already we know, but we have to know that these are all properties. Now border is also same. Actually border have several attributes. All these days we were applying simple, but border has lot of attributes. Generally, so border have color. So border have style, and border have width. Border have color, style and width. These three you can define. You can also use border image and border radius. Border have radius and border have image. So border have color, style and width. First, if you want to apply border, generally we have to write border style. Okay. What is border style? We have double border. So border style is double. That means it will apply a double border like this. Border have so border width as 10 pixel. So border width will be 10 pixel. We will have border like dotted border. So we have border like dashed border. It will be like this. We have border like groove border. So border will be like this. So we can apply different border styles. So border can be in different ways. Width, border style. And border color. So border color. So color is some red. So it will apply that color to the border. But actually border have several options also. Like, what are the options? Actually border color again have child options like border left color, like border right color, like border so top color. That means separately you can apply. So border, so here we can say bottom color, bottom color. So you can write like that. Style also same. Border left style different, right style different, top style different, your wish. Width also same. Border left width, right width, top width. So radius also same. So you can apply them individually if you want separate. For example, see, this is border style, or you can write like this. So how you can define is, you can write like, so border left style is double, and border right style is also double. So that means border left style and right style is double. Left and right style only will come. You can put border left and right thickness. So border left width is 20 pixel. So border right width is 20 pixel. Like this you can separately give them. You can apply only what you want. Different colors also, left color, right color, or even shortcut is there. Like you can write like this. That means you can write border left. Okay. Border left, here you can apply, I want a double and I want some 10 pixel, I want red. You can apply like this also. That means left border will be like this. So border right, so border right we can apply double, so we can apply 10 pixel. So this is red. Border left and right are like this. And suppose we have border top, we have solid, and we have 10 pixel, so some blue, like this we can apply. That means top will be like this, and bottom will be like this. Border bottom, so solid and 10 pixel blue, like this. So blue you can apply like that. You can change, so radius also. That means border right, so that means border top right radius. Top right radius 30 pixel. Top right radius means it will be right side radius 30 pixels, like this. Top right radius will be there. Your wish. So top left radius, bottom left radius, bottom right radius. You can write like that. If you want all directions, then you can simply apply border radius. If you apply border radius, it will apply all directions. Border radius. It will apply all directions. 20 pixel, it will apply all directions, that border. So you can display how you want, your wish. So that is all the border related options actually. So border different styles will be there. We can have, so border image. Border image, so is nothing but you can put an image as border. But very careful, why? Because to put border image, the border image should suitable. You cannot put any image however you want. You will not see the difference. To put border image, the border should be perfect. The image should be perfectly designed. You can put a border image. So if image is not there, then you cannot keep the correct one. So make sure that to design border image, you have proper image first. So see, let's see. So I will design a simple image here. I will design a simple image here. So the border images. Okay. So here, let's take this much size, small. Okay. And here we are adding some image. We are adding some image. Okay. So let's apply that here, some image like this. Okay. And that is the border image. Means we are creating an image first. We are creating a border image. Okay. So I'm just adding a duplicate like this and keep okay like this. I'm designing. So I'm designing some border image like this. Okay, adjust the height something. Okay. Like this, I designed some border image. And suppose you have to create such images. And make sure that you are not taking very large images. That will be very complex. That is border. I adjust it. Okay. I will fill up with some colors. So this is one color, all directions. Okay. And another color. So I fill up with this color in this. Okay. Save. I will save this into our project folder. In assets, we are saving as border. Okay. In assets, we saved as border. Now we have to apply this border image. So to our content. So then we have to define here. How do we specify the border? Generally, to apply the border for the container. Suppose for the container, I want to apply the border. Padding margins, okay. That's okay, fine. Earlier we used a border general style. Now we need a border image. Then to define back border image, we have to use an option. First we have to put a border. First border is important. How much thickness? 20 pixels. Okay. Solid. And we have to keep it transparent. That means there is a border but transparent. First, this is important. That means you have to put a border 20 pixels or 20 or 30 pixel, anything. Here border is there, but it is transparent actually. So border is transparent. So after keeping the border transparent, on that border we can apply image. We can write border image. Border image, you have to write image URL. And URL is // assets in that border.png. We have that PNG file. Now that is the border image. You can see that looks like this. 4 corners, that border is applied. Now border image have a lot of attributes. We have to apply them also. Generally, which image you already kept. Okay. Next, for border image, you have an option. We have an option like border image can have options like border image have options like border image. Border image can repeat. It have options like border image. So like width, how much width you want. So we have like border image. We have an option called outset. Generally, when you outset is nothing but distance and width is thickness. Repeat is important. Repeat is you can keep it as stretch. You can keep it as repeat. You can keep it as round. You can keep it as space. So you can keep it as a round stretch combinations. Stretch like that. For example, so repeat is important. We can separately write, or you can write here itself. I will repeat here as stretch. I am writing as stretch. Border URL and keeping stretch. Stretch, so it will not have any difference here. So it is not having any difference. So how much percent it should stretch? You have to tell that. Suppose I said 70. So that means it will be like this. The stretch will be like this. It will be stretch. So we can use the border like this. We can present the border. It will stretch that. So 70% stretch. So you can put here different size. Suppose it is 50%. So stretch. That means it will be 50% like this. That means stretch percentage. You can adjust that. You can say some 80% stretch. It will stretch more. So like this you can define. And this is stretching. Instead of stretching, if I say round, that means we have round. It will be like this. It will arrange that round. So we have like option like we have like repeat. So repeat will be like this. We have different small changes, effects will be there. We can add those effects. So we can use like stretch. We can use like repeat. You can use like round. So we can like round stretch like this we can add. It will give the effects like this. Combination will come. One side it is stretching, another side it is keeping it round. This is a border image actually. We need to use the combinations for the border image. So border image we can apply in different ways. So that is technically when you are applying a border for your content. So you can display in these styles. So many times this is asked, can I put an image? You can put an image, but you have to keep the content in a correct way. Your border image should be proper. Sometimes you take some large pictures and try to put those images, they will not work. Make sure that you have designed small image and it is suitable for border. Otherwise it will go outside the area. It will not display the borders properly. So you need to make sure that you are configuring everything correctly, right? So this is the important of box models. So in the box model, you have margins, you have paddings, you have border. You also have box shadow. We also have box shadow. Shadow. We can keep a shadow for that. Means instead of this border, we can keep a box shadow. That means we can just put box shadow. Generally, box shadow have some points. Like box shadow have 3 units. So this is horizontal, 2 pixels, vertical, 2 pixels, blur, 3 pixels, and some color red. I will tell you what those are. We will see them. You see now, this is the box shadow. You can see there is a box shadow. With border also you can apply that. You can see there is a box shadow there. So that means for this I will just give the margin as 10. Okay, you can see the box shadow width I will adjust so to 300 pixel. You can see this is the box shadow. Generally when you are configuring that, so when you are defining that, you see this is first unit is horizontal. That means horizontal means left to right. If I give 32 pixels, that means it will move the shadow right side. You see the shadow is right side. So I moved here 12 pixels. It will move right side. The right side shadow is increasing. Second value is down. I will give this one. This is vertical. Vertical it will get the shadow down. That means you can keep here the shadow horizontal. This is vertical. So horizontal I want 5 pixel. Vertical I want 5 pixel. You will see like this. Shadow will come like this. Horizontal, vertical, you can change them. Third point is blur. That means you see, blur means red color is solid color. If I keep 1 pixel, that means solid red color. If I increase the blur, that means if I keep here, so 8 pixel, then blurriness will increase. You will see that 18 pixel, red blurriness will increase. Red blurriness will increase. It will not be solid red. It will be blurred red. That's how we can define the box shadows. So we can define box shadow for applying that. We can use a combination of border. So if it is border, so 2 pixel solid and red color, and we can have a box shadow. Suppose the shadow color, we changed this to yellow, and the shadow will be like this. We can apply based on how you want. We can move it. That means left side 15 pixels, it will move towards the left. So bottom 15 pixels, it will scroll down. And blurriness, I don't want this much. I can keep it 8. That will be like blurriness. We can adjust the shadows and we can configure them. So this is box shadow, how you can configure the box shadows. So generally how we have to define and configure the box shadow. Usually when you are applying the box model, it contains all these options. Generally box model contains, so what are the important in box model? We have padding, we have margin, we have border, and here we have box shadow. In padding several directions, margin several directions, border several styles, box shadow how we can apply them. That is box model. Next important, how we can apply backgrounds, CSS backgrounds. Background is nothing but we can apply background color, we can apply background image, we can change background position, we can change background size. So background have options like background repeat, and we have like background attachment. Background has a lot of things. We have seen background color. We can have background image, background position, background size, background repeat. We have so many options, attachments and all. I will show you what are the options and how we can deal with them. So generally, so if I want the background, so let's write for the body section. So we are using background. And for background, we saw background color. So we are applying some background color. So some color. So we are applying some color and it will apply that color to the background. But important is the background image. We can apply a background image. When you are applying a background image, you can apply for body or container anywhere, your wish. It's not like you have to apply for only body section. Any container you can apply the background, tables, divs, anywhere. Background image uses an URL. We have to put an image, assets, some shoe.jpg. You can see that it will put that background image, but it is very large. You can adjust the size. Then you have to apply background size. Background size, you can define how much width and height. I want 200 pixels width and 200 pixel height. It will adjust the width and height like that. Now another point, you can see that background image is repeating. So we can write here background repeat. Background repeat, no repeat, it will not repeat, only one will be there. You can make it as repeat X, that means it will repeat in X direction, horizontal. You can say repeat Y, it will repeat in Y direction. You can say repeat, then it will repeat all directions. You can say no repeat, then it will not repeat. It will not repeat. If it is not repeating, you can tell where to keep it. So that means we can put background position. Background position. Background position, you can keep position like 9 positions will be there. Like default, that means left, top center, top right, middle left, middle center, middle right, right? So center left, center right. Suppose I written like center, then it will keep here center. So you can adjust that because our body content is not there. If content is there, so how much content is there, based on that it will apply. That means if you have more content, then you can see it will be center. It will be center. If the more content is there, it will be center, depending on content actually. You can even change the position by specified pixels. Position, you can say that left 200 pixels and right 100 pixels. Top 100 pixels, x-axis, y-axis, it will be there. That means I want to move x-axis some 300. It will move little bit x-axis. If you want, you can keep it at any location, or you can simply write center right. So that means the right side center, it will be there. We can write like center, it will be center. You can define that. You can adjust the height and width. Suppose 300 pixels, width and height, size is increased. Now one more important point is, now when I am using this, when I am trying to scroll, you can see that the image is scrolling. Now what we can do is, we can simply put background attachment as fixed. If background attachment is fixed, only the content will scroll, image will not scroll. Only the content will scroll, image will not scroll. We can keep so like this. So we have to add the images, we have to configure the images like this. So this is actually background effects. Now background, you can keep multiple images also. So not only one image, you can keep background multiple images also. Multiple images you can configure, but you have to correctly mention them. For example, multiple images means, generally you can write here background image URL 1 shoe. Okay, another one. So I am using a comma, and I am using another URL // assets / so in that some border.png, I am applying this. That means you can use 2, 3, anything, but it will not display now. You can observe it is not displaying all. Why? Because when you tell multiple images as background, you have to tell the position for first image, the position for second image, size for first image, size for second image, everything you have to mention, otherwise it will not work. That means what we have to do now, next step, we have to write here. So background position. Okay, what is for first position? You have to write first position is center. This is first position. Okay, comma, second image position. Second image position, how you want? I want like, so top center. So top center, second image like this. Another one, repeat also you want. That means we have to write background repeat. Okay, background repeat. So first image will be no repeat. Second image, so comma, second image will be repeat. Like this we are defining. Repeat, or repeat X, repeat Y, like this we are defining. Now, based on this, it will apply the multiple images. It will be like this. So simply it will not apply multiple images. We have to use combination correctly. So we can keep multiple images in the background. We can keep that images in the background. So multiple images in the background requires all the options to correctly configure. So if you are adding multiple images, you have to tell the position for every image. You have to tell repeat style of every image, then only it will work. If you miss any one option, it will not work. You can display multiple images also, because this is very regularly asked. Many times people ask, can I use multiple images? You can use multiple images, no problem, but you have to configure them correctly. Then only it will display, otherwise it will not come. So that is how we can apply the backgrounds. So we have background related positions, background related repeat styles, background size, and background images and background colors. You can apply for body, you can apply for any container, anywhere you can configure them. That is generally how we define the backgrounds. So this is how we set backgrounds. Next important in the CSS, after understanding background, we need to know about very important positions. So display, floats, float. So positions, display, floats, these are important, very important to understand and apply. We apply all these in different designs and we will see them. But first you need to understand what are positions, what are display styles, what are the floating options, how we can manage them, everything. Generally, so when we are dealing with positions, so what are CSS positions, how we can define CSS positions? Let's see. Actually, this is very important. Generally, when you are displaying content, position can be static position. Position can be relative position. Position can be absolute position. And position can be fixed position. And position can be sticky position. So these are different positions. What is difference between them? I will tell you. So static, relative, absolute, fixed and sticky positions. So what are the positions, how we can define? What question you are asking, Yogesh Kumar? Do you have any general sense in your question? Yogesh Kumar. Yes, tell your question, everyone here will hear your question. What is your question? Tell me, Yogesh Kumar. So Yogesh Kumar, what is your question?
Sir, can you apply background color size and multiple
Background
images?
color size. What you are talking about? Tell me what you are thinking. Color size means tell me what you are thinking.
Background multiple images can be applied.
Background color size.
Yes,
Tell me
yes.
what you are thinking. I am very confused with your brain. Background color size means what you are thinking. Tell me. I will tell, is it size or you are thinking anything else? I will tell. Sometimes you will be confused with your question itself. What is background color size means? I will apply background color here. I will apply background color. Okay, red color. So background red color is there. What do you mean by size? Size means what? Color size means color have a size.
No.
Is that your question, right? You are asking that question, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Color will have size, huh?
But sir, no, sir.
Um,
But sir, at a time can apply background color at
Already we
multiple
learned
images
yesterday gradients, huh? We learned gradients yesterday.
using gradient. Yes.
You can apply multiple colors, huh? I am very much confused. You said background color size. What is that color size? Right. Okay. Fine. Next important is here. Already we learned yesterday multiple colors, how we can give transparency, how we can give gradients. That is not color size. Gradients. We have to apply multiple colors. We can apply through gradients. Right. Next important, the positions. Yeah. Positions are very much important to understand actually. So what is position? So what is the position? How we can deal with the positions? Actually, position static, position relative, and position absolute, fixed, sticky, these are important. Generally, what is meant by that actually? Static position means static position is the default position. It is the default position. That means element will be according to document flow. It will not be disturbed from the flow. That means if it is below paragraph, it will be below paragraph only. It will not be disturbed. That means so it will not affect by left, top, right, and bottom positions. It will not affect by them. It will be there itself where it is present. That is static position. So by default the position is static. By default position is static. By default the position is static. Right. So the position is static. That is what actually static position means. So by default it is static. For example, I have a div. In the div I defined so some text, some paragraph. Right. And here in this we are defining another so P. So this is some container. So like some container. So in this we have this P, para1. Now this div is having a class container. Okay. This para have an class as message MSG or P1. So that is the paragraph. Now I am writing here dot container. For container I kept border as 2 pixel solid. Okay. So this is the container. You can see we have a container, in that we have a paragraph. Now for paragraph we have applied dot P1 for paragraph. We applied position as static. Position as static means by default position is according to the normal flow. According to the normal flow means it is inside the container, below that text it will be there. So that means below the text the paragraph is present. This is first line, this is second line. That is normal. Suppose I try to change top as 100 pixels. That means move from the top 100 pixels. It's not affected. I said like left 200 pixels. So it's not affected. So position is static by default. It will keep your content exactly where it is according to the flow. That is static position. We have another position called static position, and we have another position that is fixed position. fixed. Fixed position means this paragraph is removed from the normal flow. It is removed from the normal flow. Paragraph is removed from the DOM flow, normal document flow. It is removed from the document flow, and it allows you to keep wherever you want. Allows you to keep wherever you want. Observe carefully now. When I say fixed, it is removed from the normal flow. You go to the design, you will see that paragraph comes out. Paragraph comes out of that container. If I use relative, it is according to the flow. That means it is, so paragraph is inside the container. But when I give fixed position, it is removed from the normal flow. Okay, after that, you can place anywhere you want by using left, right. I can say right 10 pixels. Automatically it will go right side 10 pixels. I can keep right 10 pixels. And I can keep like top as 200 pixels. It will go top 200 pixels. It will be like this here. It will be kept here, 200 pixels top. Now very important is, fixed means it will be fixed at that position. That means if your container is having lot of content, if the container is having lot of content, I will copy some content. So if your container is having lot of content to scroll, so if your container is having lot of content to scroll, let's put here. So some content here. So lot of content here to scroll. And for that paragraph, I will keep so background color as some red and color as white. Okay, so width is some 100. Like this, it is enough. Now you see it looks like this. And observe carefully. Now that will remain there itself. You can scroll rest of the content. This is called fixed position. That is fixed. Already we designed toolbars. I have showed you toolbars now. Already we designed toolbars and we kept them there. The position is fixed there. Right side, navigation bars and all I told you, Facebook and all these we can design. Now this is fixed there. It is fixed there. You can scroll the rest of content and display the rest of content here. This is fixed position. So remember, fixed position means it is removed from, fixed position means it is removed from normal flow. Removed from normal flow and fixed at specific position. So not affected by scrolling, not affected by scrolling. That's what actually. Absolute position means it is also removed from normal flow, but not fixed at that position. Not fixed at that position. It can scroll. That means absolute also will be removed from the normal flow. Suppose I am giving here the position. I am giving here the position static. If I give the position static, you can see that the paragraph will be like this. The paragraph will be like this. So that means it will be like this. So that means if we define the position, so that is what we said, normal flow, right? So this is the static position. So this is the position, the static. And if I give absolute position, this absolute position also, so removed from that location. And it is kept at right and top at that specific location. You can see that it will be there. But it is not fixed. But it is not fixed for scrolling. It will scroll along with your content. That is absolute position. That means it will be scrolling along with your content, but it is top and left adjusted. Absolute position also removed from the flow. But what is difference between absolute and fixed? Absolute will scroll along with the content. Fixed will not scroll along with the content. It will keep there itself. That means it will keep there itself. So fixed, it will keep there itself. It will not scroll. It will not scroll. It will be fixed at that location. That is the difference between absolute, relative, and fixed. Understood these three are first: static, absolute, fixed. Relative we haven't discussed. These three understood everyone? Static, right? Static means it will be at the same place where it is. Absolute means it is removed from the flow, but you can keep it where you want, but it will be affected with scrolling. Fixed means it will not be affected with the scrolling. Sticky already we learned, remember sticky? Already we learned sticky position. So you remembered the sticky position? Already we discussed sticky position. So I told you that with the data terms and definitions, when we learned with the data terms and definitions, so we discussed about sticky position. So here also we can see one more time. For example, see, suppose sticky position is nothing but, suppose here we have a heading. So we have a heading. So heading. So some HTML tutorial. So tutorial, something heading is there. I want this heading ID as HTML. Okay. I want this heading to be in the normal flow. That means to be in the normal flow. Heading should be in the normal flow. It should be in the normal flow. So that means it should not come out of the flow, but when it reaches top, it should stick there. It should stick to the top. When it reaches top, it should stick there. It should be at its location only. It should be at its location only, but stick at the top. That's what we want to design. Like this I added. That means it should be at its position. Then what we can do here, so for that HTML, hash HTML. So position we will give sticky. Sticky means, is it removed from the normal flow? Is it removed from the normal flow? What do you say? Sticky, is it removed from the normal flow? Sticky is not removed from the normal flow. It is present according to the flow. But when it reaches top 0 pixel, so 0 pixel, it will stick there. It can stick at 0, it can stick at 100, your wish. When it reaches top 0, it will stick there. You can see that when I am scrolling, when it reaches top there, and it will stick there. It will stick there. So better for that we will put a background color as gray. So say color as some white, like this. That makes your content sticky there and rest of the content to scroll like this. Already we designed this while working with the data list and terms and definition. And I showed you a toolbar also. So just like websites have a toolbar, sticky positions, we have that position sticky. That is sticky position. So how we can manage the sticky position. One more position is there, relative position. Relative position. Actually, relative position is nothing but, so technically relative position is according to the position of, elements. So existing element, parent element, adjacent element. Based on parent and adjacent elements, the position will be affected. That's what actually relative position is. To understand relative position, we need a parent element, child element, like that, then it will be relative. So for example, so here we will design like this. So we will keep here div, and this is like box 1. So inside that we have another div. So we have box inner. Okay. So this is like box outer. Okay. Now we have that. So div ID or class. So box outer. This is the class. So box inner. Generally, when you apply here div, for div, so here I defined as border as 2 pixels solid. Okay, that is both the divs will be applied like that. And box outer, so we'll have height as some 200 pixel. Okay, so width is some 300 pixel. That is the box outer. Okay, box inner is having box inner. So box inner is having height 100 pixel. So width also 100 pixel. Now generally this is the box. Now what happened is outer box. So margin left I given as so 200 pixel. So that means outer box will be like this. Okay. Inner box, for inner box we are giving here. So position as relative. Position as relative. When you give position as relative, that means it is related to the outer box. And we given here left as 20 pixel. If I give 20 pixel, it will be 20 pixel from the left side. Left side of outer box, not entire page. Actually, if the position is not relative, suppose I said static position, it is not affected by using this 20. If the position is absolute, it is removed, but it is 20 pixel here. That means it is 20 pixel to the page. But I don't want 20 pixel to the page. I want 20 pixel to its parent element. Then we have to keep this as relative. Understood? Relative means to its parent element. Related to the parent element, 20 pixel. So that means it is related to the parent element 20 pixel. If I change this to absolute, it is not related to parent element. It is 20 pixels to the page. I want it to be related to the parent element. It should not go outside that. Then keep it relative. Relative means it will not go outside that parent element. It will be inside that parent element. So that means you can keep left, you can keep top. So top some 100 pixel, then it will be relative to that. So that means, so even suppose relative to parent element. So if I give this as absolute, then it will be like this. Because left and top. But I want it to, so the position relative. Then we have to use the position relative. And pixels, 20 pixel, 30 pixel, you can adjust relative to the parent. So the position, you want to adjust the size or width or positions relative to the parent or child. That is actually relative. So relative means it will be according to normal flow only, but adjusted with regard to parent. It will adjust. This is relative position. Now which positions will remove out of the flow? Which positions will remove out of the flow? Which positions will remove your content? Which positions will remove out of the flow? What do you say? Which positions will remove out of the flow? 2 positions will remove out of the flow. What are those 2 positions? So fixed position and absolute position. Fixed and absolute positions will remove out of the flow. Others will be according to the flow. So, but they have different options. What is the default position? What is the default position? Default position is static, right? Which position is related to parent elements? Relative, right? These are all options we need to understand. I hope everyone is clear. So positions, how we can work with them. This positions is very much confusion for beginning people when you try to learn them from websites and know them from websites. They will be very confusion. Until or unless you see different types of examples, you can't understand. That's the reason I showed you a clean clarity of, is it removed from the flow or not? Is it in the flow or not? We have to understand that clearly. So I hope everyone is clear. Now that is positions. Next important, we have to understand how we can use display, different display styles, display flex, display grids, display boxes, how we can manage various display options. That we will see in our next session, right? Tomorrow we will continue with that. Tomorrow we will discuss display. After learning all these, we can put in examples. Tomorrow we will continue with this, okay? Right.